In this lecture, we'll get two lasers firing side by side on our player spaceship. We can do that by taking advantage of both arrays and a for each loop. But let's set up our Unity scene first, and then we'll dive into some C# code. The easiest way to do that, or get two lasers side by side, because currently we just have one, is to duplicate this laser. But I think it would make more sense to prefab it first. Now we're going to get more into nested prefabs and prefab variants shortly, but for now, let's just stick to the basics of what we know prefabs already are, and let's create a prefabs folder in our assets directory. We'll go ahead and drag my laser in. With that prefabbed correctly, we can actually just duplicate that with Control D directly in our hierarchy. Let's just adjust this from top to bottom. I'm going to put one laser over here to the left a little bit to something like -5 exactly makes sense, and we can just go ahead and do that exactly the opposite on the right side, so +5. And we'll just rename this laser on the right to my right laser. And my laser on the left, let's just call it my left laser. And with that, we have our two lasers set up. All we need to do is toggle this emission module on both, and we've got them firing correctly. But how do we do that in our player weapon class? This is where we can start to take advantage of an array. If variables are like boxes, then arrays are really just boxes to store other boxes. In other words, arrays allow us to store multiple objects in one variable. However, we can only store the same data type of objects in any array variable. So you could have an array of floats, integers, strings, all the different C# data types, but you can also have arrays of things like game objects or particle systems, different types of data inside of Unity, things like components. So here's a visual representation of what that might look like. We might have an array called names, and inside of names, we have three different boxes: Rick, Steven, and Superman. So why does this start at 0? Well, like many things in programming, or more specifically C#, arrays are what's referred to as a zero-based index. So the very first item in the array is going to start at 0 and then increment from there. So an example of what this might look like in C# is we're just going to type the same syntax out, string and then names, but right after the data that we're actually trying to store, we're just going to use these open and close square brackets, followed by the equal sign. And for a string, using these quotation marks, if you were to just have one, we would just type quotation Rick. But in this case, we have three different strings, so we'll separate them by a comma and then close it with a curly bracket. If we want to gain access to a specific string in this string array, we can use the syntax names, open bracket, and then the number we're trying to access, and then closed bracket. So if you're trying to access Superman, which is the third object in the array, we're going to find that by using names, open bracket to closed bracket. So let's actually try that out in our player weapon class. Let's open that up, and we can actually just change this single laser to an array by notating it with this open and closed brackets. Now, you could, of course, leave this as laser, but let's just change that to lasers plural. Now, before we go any further, let's just comment that out so we're not getting any compilation errors, and let's head back into Unity just to see what that looks like in the inspector. So if we click our player ship game object and we find our player weapon class, here we go. We have our lasers array. Now we haven't put anything in that. We can do it a couple different ways. You can hit this plus icon where we can then drag an element inside of our array, in our case, a game object. If you were to try to drag something that wasn't a game object, it's not going to work. And then we can just hit it again. So you can actually drag in both our left and our right laser. Now, not that it really matters, but I'm going to drag my left one above my right laser just so we can kind of go from left to right in our hierarchy. Back to my player ship, you can actually just drag in my left laser. There we go. And you can drag in my right laser. And we have an array of lasers, which are really just game objects. Now, just a little bit of a tip. That wasn't so bad because we only have two game objects, but say we actually had an array of dozens or hundreds of game objects. Well, dragging in one at a time would be pretty annoying. So let's just hit the minus on both of those so it's empty. And I'll just show you another way to assign things in the inspector. With the player ship clicked, let's go ahead and lock that in the inspector. We can then highlight both game objects in our hierarchy, and then you can actually just drag them both directly into this lasers wording here, and it'll populate our array with both game objects. Let's open back up our player weapon class and see how we can rig that up to properly fire both of them. Now, you don't have to do this part, just watch along for just a second. I'm going to uncomment these two lines of code. You could duplicate these two lines of code and just go into each individual laser twice. For example, laser bracket 0, except we'll have to change that to plural. And then you could actually just copy paste this entire line and then do the exact same going into the second laser. And if you were to change this variable name so we didn't get the compilation error, it would work. That would be just fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but we're getting a lot of code duplication. So that introduces us to a new concept in C# that we can learn, referred to as a for each loop. What is a for each loop? It's a control flow statement for traversing a collection. In our case, a collection is an array of game objects. It's a way of basically saying, do this for everything in our collection. But what is the syntax for how to iterate over a collection? Let's use an example of an array of game objects that we'll just call things. The syntax for how to iterate over things, this collection, is for each open parentheses game object item in things. Game object being the data type that we're iterating over, item just being a variable name that we can call whatever we'd like, in things, things being the actual collection that we're trying to iterate over. Item is kind of like the out-of-the-box general term for how to describe a for each loop. However, it's pretty common in a for each loop to just name it the singular version of whatever the plural version is of the collection that we're going over. So very often you would see something like game object thing in things, followed by an open curly bracket, whatever logic you'd like to do, end curly bracket. So in this case, we'll just use the syntax item dot and then a made up method called do something. Great, let's get our hands dirty and actually implement this in our player weapon class. So let's keep all of this logic here. I'm actually just going to delete this syntax of trying to go into laser specifically. Let's keep this singular because we can actually use this laser syntax in our for each loop. So let's just type out for each, and then I'm actually just going to scroll down here to let my autocomplete fill out the rest of the syntax for us. Hit tab, and we've automatically got that auto-populated, or at least off to a pretty good start. We can highlight these two lines here, and while holding the Alt key, tap the up arrow key a couple times. With that still highlighted, if you just hit tab, it'll tab or indent both of those over at the same time. Then we just have to replace collection with the collection we'd like to iterate over, lasers. Copy paste that in here. You could leave item as is, that would work just fine. But again, I'm just going to use laser. Now you could keep var here if you'd like to keep things implicit and let the C# compiler figure it out. But again, it's usually a pretty good idea to be as explicit as possible because we're iterating over a collection of game objects. Let's just replace var with game object. I think we're all set to go. Let's go test things out back in Unity. And there you go. We have both lasers firing and we can toggle them on and off with our left mouse button. That's all I'd like to cover in this lecture. When you're ready to move on, I'll see you in the next one.